Hey, puppy.
It's a bad hair day today. Yours is looking good though.
You look okay?
Yeah. You always look good. Joby, are you gonna be in the video? Oh, your ball is gonna go over. No! Come here, Joby. You can be in the video. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Keisha and this is my husband Will, and he's going to be joining me today, and we're going to find out how well he knows his wife's book taste reading. Yep. So today we are going to be playing a little game, and Joby is probably going to be running around in both of these cameras today, so we're going to have fun with that. But essentially we're going to see how well Will knows me. How well do you think you know my book taste?
I don't have a lot of confidence in myself. Honestly, if I can get more than one, I'll be pretty happy.
Okay. So I'm actually going to ask him to see, because we placed a bet the other day to see, Joby, quit squeaking your ball, baby, to see how many books he thought that I had read off of my anticipated releases, and he guessed 8 from, I think it was last year, and he guessed right. So he may guess right. So we have 20 books here today. Let me explain the game to you guys, and then I'll ask him for his bet on how many he thinks he's going to get right. But I saw this on Kayla from Books and Lala's channel a couple of years ago. This was before I started my channel, and I knew that I wanted to do this with Will and see how well he knew my book taste. But I was still kind of getting into reading again, and now I feel like I've got enough options to take him through, I guess. So I have 20 books laid out here. We do have a double screen situation today, so you guys can see all the books, hopefully. And if not, I'm sorry, I will insert a picture so you guys can kind of play along if you want. But I have 20 books laid out, and I have 20, these are not sticky notes, there's cards because I could not find sticky notes, but they say different things on them, and he's going to go through and kind of like assign a card to each book. So one of these is like favorite series of all time, and he would look at all of these and try to determine which one of those matches the sticky note. Joby, please don't squeak your ball the whole video. So there are 20 books out here, there are 20 cards, but there are also 5 decoy books. So the 5 decoys are to throw him off and to confuse him. Not that he needs that, because he might be confused anyways. But so yeah, we're going to go through, and I am going to give him lifelines. His first lifeline will be 50-50. If he gets stuck on one, then we will do 50-50, where I narrow it down to 2 books so he knows he at least has a 50-50 chance of getting it right. And the second lifeline is going to be to phone a friend, and basically that is I have some of my book besties on hold, so if he gets stuck and feels like he needs to ask one of my friends, then he's going to ask one of my friends what they think, you know, where they think the sticky note needs to go. So at the end, he will have the opportunity to move around these if he feels like he needs to do so. He may change his mind throughout. So without further ado, without making this any longer than it needs to be, we're going to go ahead and get started.
So I did want to go ahead and pause the video real quick to give you guys an overview of all of the books that we have laid out here today. That way, if you guys want to play along with Will and see how many you can get right, you can do so. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you do play along and how many you get correct. So this is all of the books that I have today. We have Tell Me Everything by Cambria Brockman, Bunny by Mona Awad, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Vicious by V.E. Schwab, The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw, The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, Own Your Everyday by Jordan Lee Dooley, In an Absent Dream by Shauna McGuire, Coraline by Neil Gaiman, The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon, The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney, Lord of the Flies by William Golding, Thornhill by Pam Smythe, House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig, Belle Teal by Ann M. Martin, Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire, The Drowning Kind by Jennifer McMahon, The Selection by Kira Cass, Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marsworth by Sheila O'Connor, The Mouse and the Motorcycle by Beverly Clary, A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw, Small Spaces by Catherine Arden, and Nevermore by Jessica Townsend.
Okay, so first of all, how many, like out of the 20, do you think you'll get right?
I'm going to set my expectations pretty low for myself. I do listen to you when you talk about books, but you go over so many titles over the years. It all kind of runs together. So I'm going to say 3. I'm going to get 3 right.
Okay, so not super confident. I feel more confident in him than he is in himself. I think that maybe he'll get, I want to say you'll get 10 right, but let's be realistic. I'm going to use your number and say 8.
Okay, how many cards are there?
There's 20, and there's 5
Okay.
decoy books, so I'm going to say 8.
Okay.
Okay, so the first card that we have is the book that made me cry the most. So look at your options, and when you place it, kind of tell me why you
Okay.
think that maybe. The book that made me cry the most.
Let's see. Looks like a sad book. This is a hard one. On card number 1.
They know, probably.
They probably do.
probably know more than you do.
I'm sure that they do.
Jovi's getting all over these. You do get to move these around
All right.
at the end, too. So if you put it in the wrong place, you will have the opportunity to, like, switch the cards. A book that made me cry.
I'm gonna say.
I've actually talked about this recently.
You said recently?
What has made me cry? What type of book do you think would make me cry?
I'm gonna say. Sometimes I lie.
Made me cry.
I don't know.
I'm just asking it. That book made me cry the most. Do you know
Yeah,
what that
that's
book, do you know
where
what
I
that
put-
book's about?
No. Obviously
I may need
not.
to change my bet. Okay, the next one is favorite book as a child.
I feel good about this one.
Okay, favorite book as a child.
Favorite book as a child. It's between 2 of them that I see out here.
Okay.
Um,
Just remember, you're going to have more things in here too, so.
I'm gonna say The Mouse and the Motorcycle.
Mouse and the Motorcycle is my favorite book as a child, okay? I did read that one as a child. So that's a good bet. I'm just making comments.
All right.
Okay, next is my first ARC. Do you know what ARC stands for? What does it stand for?
Advanced Reader Copy.
Look at him, I'm so proud. Book hubby. All right, what was my first ARC
First
that I ever
ARC.
got?
Let's see.
This should be easy, if you think about it.
I have one that I think, I don't want to miss anything.
I feel like there's one book that would not be out here if it wasn't the first advanced reader copy that I ever got.
I'm going to say Own Your Everyday.
Okay. Why do you think? I guess I don't have to ask you on everyone. The next one is favorite series of all time. I feel like this could definitely be tricky. So, favorite series of all time. So, he would also have to know which ones of these are series.
Yeah.
So, right off the bat, which ones do you know are series? Do you know?
Hey, don't ask me hard questions like that.
Do you not know which ones are series?
I have a couple in mind.
What do you think are series? Tell the audience what you think are in a series. It's okay that you don't.
So I've got it right now between Vicious and Every Heart a Doorway. Because I think that both of those.
Okay, you would
Are
be
parts
correct
of
that both
series.
of those are series. I'm going to go ahead and tell the audience. So, Will doesn't read as much as I do. He does read, but he's not really a reader. He hasn't read in a while. I think the master's program he was in kind of burned him out on books.
So that means that it's neither of those, is what I just picked up on.
No, I was just letting them know, like, for you to not know what are series and stuff. Like, you don't read, like, you don't read as much as I do. Like, that's not your thing, you know?
Mhm.
Like, books is my thing. You can always switch them around. Just remember that.
All right, I'm going to say Vicious.
Okay. Next is a book that I think that you would like.
Okay.
A book that I think that you would like. And I have told you that I think that you would like this book.
Well, now I think this one's Vicious too.
I will let you switch it early if you're that confident.
Okay, I'm pretty confident.
So now where do you want to put favorite series of all time?
Favorite series of all time. I'm going to move that one to Every Heart a Doorway then.
Okay.
Because that was my backup.
So this one is my guilty pleasure read. Guilty pleasure book.
This one's easy. I'm going Bunny.
He does listen sometimes.
You've talked about that book too much for me to have not picked up on something.
Okay, so next is favorite twist. So I like to read thrillers, and I love a good twist. So my favorite twist in a thriller.
Okay. Favorite twist.
Do you know which ones of these are thrillers?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's between The Last Time I Lied and The Silent Patient.
Okay.
I'm going to say The Last Time I Lied.
Okay. The Last Time I Lied for your favorite twist. Favorite book. This is like favorite book of all time currently. This has changed within the last year, but I am fairly confident that he should know this. And if he, well, I don't know. I feel like he could be stumped between two. Favorite
You said
book.
that it's changed within the last year?
See, I just gave him a hint saying it's changed within the last year, I think. So it's a book that I talk about a lot.
Okay.
But that doesn't necessarily, I talk about a lot of these a lot. But it is a book that I talk about a lot, and I talk about enjoying a lot. And remember, you do have lifelines. You can do 50-50 on any of these. You can do phone a friend on any of these.
Okay. I want to use 50-50.
You want to use 50-50. Okay, so it's either going to be The Silent Patient or The Winter People.
Okay. I'm going to say The Silent Patient because that was one that I had in mind.
Okay. So the next one is most recent read.
Oh my goodness.
What have I most recently been reading?
You probably read 3 books yesterday.
What have I most recently been reading? He should know this.
You have been reading.
What have I been reading?
So I'm going to say...
It's a book that I've recently been reading.
You've read... Okay.
Yeah, like I just read this book, or I'm reading this book, or I'm like... It's just whatever book I've picked up last.
I'm going to say The Drowning Kind.
Most recent book I disliked. So, a book that you know that I didn't like that much.
Okay.
Recently, that I've read, that I didn't like.
I'm going to say House of Salt and Sorrows.
Okay, House of Salt and Sorrows for most recent book I disliked. Next is the book that I recommend the most. So this would be a book that I talk about a lot, and I try to get a lot of people to read. Which I do recommend a lot of these, but there is one that I feel like I recommend the most.
I'm going to say The Wicked Deep.
Okay. Why do you think that?
I don't know. It's got a pretty cover.
It's got a pretty cover. Book that I was most surprised that I liked. So this was a book that I probably wouldn't have just picked up on my own, and when I did pick it up, I was really surprised that I liked it.
I'm going to say Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marnsworth.
Why do you think that? The book that I was most surprised that I like. What kind of book is this? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, so he's basically going off nothing here. That's what I'm gathering.
I got it right. You're just trying to confuse me.
Okay, so my favorite book that I read in school.
I'm going to say that this one is To Kill a Mockingbird. Because I know you read that one in school.
No, I read that one in school. Are there any other books out here that I read in school?
You probably read Lord of the Flies in school.
Mm-hmm.
And The Mouse and the Motorcycle, maybe.
Yeah, so I did read both of those. So there are 3 books out here that I read while I was in school.
And I got all 3 of them. Okay.
Okay, least favorite book. Now, this is not going to be like my least favorite book of all time, because typically if I don't like a book, I will unhaul it. So, but this is one of my least favorite books that I have just not yet unhauled.
Okay, so this is going to be one...
I did not like this book.
This is going to be one that I probably don't hear about very much.
Yeah, or that you've heard me say bad things about, or just complain about.
It's probably one that everybody else loves. Not really?
I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this one.
I'm going to say The Secret Garden.
Okay. Next is the book that I most want to read. So I have not read this yet, but it is the book that I most want to read.
So you haven't read this yet?
I haven't read it yet, and it's the book that I most want to read.
Did I buy this book for you?
I'm not giving hints,
Oh, okay.
but I haven't read it yet, and it's the book that I most want to read. I haven't started it yet.
I'm going to say History of Wild Places
Why do you think that?
because I think that you really want to read that book.
He has
Because
great
I
reasons.
might have gotten it for you for Christmas.
He might have. Next is most read author. So this is the author that I have read the most books from.
Okay. I've got it between
What is it?
between 2 or 3.
Okay. So who do you think?
It's either Sean McGuire,
Okay.
Shay Earnshaw, or V.E. Schwab.
Those are really good guesses. Like those are both authors that I've read, all authors that I've read a lot of. So.
And I'm going to go Sean McGuire.
Okay, so he put on In an Absent Dream by Shauna McGuire is most read author. Next is my favorite movie adaptation.
I feel pretty strong about this one.
I hope that you get this right. I'm going to be
I
disappointed.
think that this one is Coraline.
Coraline by Neil Gaiman is favorite movie adaptation. Next is favorite author. Who is my
Favorite
all-time
author.
favorite author?
Do you have a favorite author and a most read author?
Yes. And they're not the same.
Okay. What if the book already has a sticky note on it? Can I
You
put
can
2?
switch it. Yeah, no, you,
Oh, so there's
you
not
can switch
two
it out.
the
You
same.
can- there's not two of the same. There's 5 decoys. So there's 5 books out here that
Okay.
aren't going to have a sticky note. We've got 3 cards left. So what I'm going to do right now is, would you like for me to, if there are any books at this point that are like decoy books that will not have a sticky note, do you want me to remove them?
Yeah.
And then give you the sticky notes back. Okay. So this is a decoy book.
Okay.
To Kill a Mockingbird is a decoy book. So favorite book I read in school, where do you want to put that now?
I'm going to put that one on Lord of the Flies.
Okay, so he's changed favorite book I read in school from To Kill a Mockingbird to Lord of the Flies. Another decoy book is The Wicked Deep. So book I recommend the most, where do you want to put that?
I'm going to put that one on The Winter People.
The Winter People for the book I recommend the most. Okay, another decoy book was The Mouse and the Motorcycle for favorite book as a child. So where do you want to
My
put that one now?
goodness.
I think that one can be hard.
I'd
Just
say
look
so.
at a book that looks like it's something I read as a child. It may have been around for a while.
I'm going to say Nevermore.
Okay. And then the other decoy book is The Secret Garden for least favorite book. I have not read The Secret Garden.
I'm going to say
So my least favorite book.
The Selection.
Least favorite book for the selection. And now, you guys, I'm forgetting what my other decoy book was. So, oh, I remember my other decoy book. Okay. Made Me Cry the Most was not Sometimes I Lie. That is a thriller. I'm pretty sure it didn't make me cry.
Never know.
It does have a good twist, though.
Let's see.
So now all of the decoy books are gone, and he's working off the ones that are left. I'm going to move some of these in. Okay, so where do you want to put Made Me Cry the Most now? And also, do you want to do 50-50? Do you want to find a friend?
No. I'm
He
going to
does not want to use
use
these lifelines, you guys.
Belle Till. I've never heard of that book, but
For
we're
What
just
Made Me
gonna
Cry the
go-
Most
yeah,
by
we're just
Belle.
gonna go
It's
with that.
Belle Till Made Me Cry the Most is what he's putting. Okay.
Where are my other
Wait,
two?
where did you put... Okay, never mind. No, you can't see them all yet. You got to just go. So your next one is favorite author.
Okay,
So-
I don't think it's either of these 3.
Okay, so you can switch it
So
out.
I can switch it right now.
Yeah, I'll let you switch it out. So
Okay.
where do you think favorite author goes?
I think your favorite author is Riley Sager.
Okay, so do you want to switch that for favorite twist? Do you think this is more my favorite author or this is more my favorite twist?
That's tough.
You don't think anybody else out here could be a potential favorite author for me?
No, potentially. I'm just gonna put it on
Catherine
Arden. Yes.
I do really like Catherine Arden, so it's not a bad guess.
Okay.
Okay, longest completed series is next. Sorry, you guys there. Longest completed series. So this would be, like, I've read the most books in this series, and I don't read a lot of series, so keep that in mind too. What is my most completed series?
So this is another one that has to be a series.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put that one on Thornhill.
Okay.
And
the last one is the book that most other people want me to read. That's a hard one. The book that I've been told to read the most by other people that I have not read yet.
so I'm gonna need to switch some of these around.
You can switch them around at this point.
Okay.
You can. So tell them where you switch things to, what books.
All right.
Reading, okay. I'm gonna tell you the ones that you have right.
No.
He's like, no. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and just put this on Tell Me Everything, and I just want to see how I did. I'm good.
No, but I
Lock in
want
my
you to be
answers.
able to switch it around. Look at them one more time.
I really.
I want you
I
to be
don't
able
know.
to switch it around if you want to.
I feel pretty good. I want to see what I got right.
Okay, so I had originally, how many did you think you were going to get right? 3. And I thought he was going to get right 8. And I feel like I was a little bit overconfident.
I knew there was no way I was getting 8.
Okay, so what you got right is my favorite movie adaptation is Coraline. So this one is right. Another one that you got right is that my first arc was Own Your Everyday by Jordan Lee Dooley. This was one that I got sent from her, and I was actually part of the launch team for this book, so that was really fun. The book that I most want to read is A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw, so this one is right. So you did get 3 right.
There's my 3.
There's his 3. Now, he also got right, I don't know, maybe you did get more right than I thought. My guilty pleasure book is Bunny. He would know that because he knows what Bunny's about, at least enough to know that it's guilty pleasure. You did get my favorite twist right. I was so nervous when you were going to move this because Riley Sager's not one of my favorite authors. He's hit or miss for me. So this was my favorite twist. And I feel like if you remembered my reaction to reading that book, that's probably why you knew it's my favorite twist. But
I got that one.
So you got that one. So right now he has got 1,
I'm
2,
at
3,
5.
4, 5.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah. So my most read author is Shauna McGuire because this is, I've 1, 2, 3, there's 6 books out right now in her series. So she is my most read author because I've read a lot of these short books. Sorry for the ball and the Jovi that y'all have experienced through this whole video, but hopefully it's good content. Okay, and then you also got right the book that I think you would like, because I have been trying to get you to read Vicious for so long. It's like this gray characters, like, villain story. I mean, this is the villain series, but I think it's something you would really like if you would read it. And if you guys think that he would like this and he should read it, y'all need to scream at him in the comments. So you did get that one right. So how many have we got now? Like
That's
6, 7. Oh, dang! Would I make it right if you got 8? Let's see. Okay, I won because you got 8 right. I didn't think that though. Okay, so favorite book I read in school was Lord of the Flies, but given you did get a little bit of help. I did really like To Kill a Mockingbird, but Lord of the Flies has been a book I've wanted to reread, and I really enjoyed reading it in school, seeing the symbolism behind it.
To be fair, I put that card on like 2 other books before I landed on Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Then I think I had it on Mouse and the Motorcycle and To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, so, but I did love Lord of the Flies. Okay, so you actually got 9 right because the most recent book that I disliked was House of Salt and Sorrows. This was more of a letdown for me than anything. I did give it 3 stars, but overall, like, I didn't like the book as much as I thought. I feel like it's very overhyped. So I did read this recently, and it was the book.
Just a guess.
Well, that's a good guess. So you got 9 right. And now I'm gonna like show you guys and switch these up on so he can see. And I'm actually kind of like shocked that you did this because, like, I've been reading this book the past couple of days.
All right.
And so the fact that this wasn't easy for you kind of makes me confused just like how much you look at what I'm reading.
Which one?
Okay, so the book that my most recent read, you put that on the Drowning Con. Mm-hmm. So my most recent read is Tell Me Everything, and I'm still reading it right now. And it's the book I got for Christmas from his family. So that is my most recent read. The book that most other people want me to read is Nevermore. This book was not out when I was a child. My favorite book as a child was Bell's Hill.
I've never heard you say that. You just made that up.
No, this is my favorite book as a child. I do think The Mouse on the Motorcycle comes in close, but this is a book that I really like as a child. Like when I was a child, this was the book that I really, really liked, and I could not tell you why. I could tell you what it's about. And I've reread it since then, but this is just one of my favorite books as a child.
I feel like you just made that up.
I really didn't.
You never talked about that.
I don't talk about it a lot.
Okay.
And then the book that made me cry the most, this actually kind of surprised me too, is Until Tomorrow, Mr. Margeworth.
Yeah, I thought about that.
I cried when I was reviewing this book, guys. Yeah, that's a World War II Vietnam War, or not World War II Vietnam War, what am I saying? Vietnam
I remember
War.
what it was about.
Yeah. So the book that I was most surprised that I liked is actually The Selection, because this is not a cover I would pick up. I wasn't intrigued by it, but Haley from Haley and Bookland actually was talking about it as being a book that would get you out of a reading slump, and I read it, and I read the series. I own the series, and I like it, so I was most surprised that I liked that. My least favorite book is Thornhill. I did not like this book at all. It made me so mad. It was about bullying. And do you remember me talking about that at all? If you don't, it's
a little bit.
Yeah, and it's
I'd never
not
heard
even
of Thornhill, so
it's not even a part of a series.
yeah.
My longest completed series. Do you have any idea where this might go? Based off of anything that I've said.
I would say this one.
Yeah, so Every Heart a Doorway, the Shauna
Mm-hmm.
McGuire Wayward Children series. I've read 6 books in that series, and that's the most I've ever read. That's my longest completed series so far. Favorite series of all time, which this I think can be confusing because I know that he knows I think this is one of my favorite books, but I don't know that you know it's a series. Small Spaces.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a series.
So Small Spaces, and then we have like Dead Voices, Dark Waters, all the other ones. That is my favorite series of all time right now. I've only read 2 books, so that's saying a lot. But my favorite author is Jennifer McMahon.
Oh.
And she has been my favorite author all year since I read The Winter People at the beginning of the year. I read The Winter People, which is my favorite book of all time, is The Winter People.
Since when?
Since I read it. I mean, I love The Winter People. I talk about this book all the time. Apparently, I don't talk about it around him enough.
She doesn't talk about it enough.
I love this book. It's creepy. And I've been reading Jennifer McMahon.
I thought that was a decoy.
The book that I recommend the most is The Silent Patient. I feel like most people would like that. I think it's a good beginner thriller. So, did I switch all of these around? Yes. Okay, so you did good though. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 9 right. You thought you were only going to get 3.
I did so good.
And 9 out of 20, that's almost half.
I do listen.
So he does. He listens more than I think, but then also you surprised me on some of these. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments if you knew any of the answers to these, how well you did if you played along. Hopefully Jovi was not too big of a nuisance running around in the background and squeaking her ball. I apologize if that lessened the quality of this video, but hopefully you enjoyed it and you guys got to meet Will and see him a little bit. I hope to do more videos like this with him in the future. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, let us know. Let him know you want to see him more. And yeah, so I guess we are going to head on out from here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everybody.